Hey everyone, it's Fortius here, and in this video, I will show you how you can pass your LLQP exam at your own pace. So, studying and cramming for an exam, it can be very stressful, but with the LLQP, you won't have to worry about that because with that course, you can work on it independently at your own time and take as much practice quizzes as you need. And when you feel ready and confident, you can finally take the exam. Make sure that you pass like I did. For me, I was able to work a full time job while taking it and also be able to go to a vacation and then come back and then finish it, which is the best part. Being able to go to school and going on a vacation is a big plus one for me. So in this video, I will be using a PowerPoint to give you an idea of what to expect from the LLQP, and in that way, that will prepare you to take the exam confidently. All right, sweet. We love Google Slides. It's amazing. So yeah, I'll just going through an intro, just a brief overview. The exam modules for the LLQP. There's the key study areas. So there's going to be four of them. Life insurance, which is the main one. There's accident and sickness, segregated funds, and annuities. So seg funds is for Canada, annuities is for the US, and that's like a type of investment. And then there's the ethics and professional practice. There's a fifth one in there, but you don't have to get tested for it, and that's the taxation systems. It's still something you should study and check out. We'll go over the study tips and strategies, exam day preparation for those who are very anxious, and then there's the post exam steps, and then there's resources and tools. And lastly, I will just conclude, briefly talk about what we went through. Okay. Introduction, LLQP. What does that stand for? That's the Life License Qualification Program. What does that do? As you can see here, it's an exam for life license insurance agents in Canada. And the purpose, it makes sure that the agents have the necessary knowledge to serve the clients effectively. Okay? Importance, required to sell life insurance and related products in most provinces. So, LQP, you can just take the one that covers all of the provinces. Not sure about the territories, except Quebec. Quebec has a different test, a separate test that you'll have to take in Canada. And of course, if you're in the US, you're watching this, you just have to search up your state and then get a state license for that. But mainly, this is just for Canada. There's also the regulatory bodies that are involved, and there's the Canadian Insurance Self Regulatory Organization. It's CISRO. You're probably wondering what that is. So, what that is, this organization is, they are dedicated to consistent qualifications and conduct of business standards for insurance intermediaries. Yes, I'm reading off their website. I will put a link in the description on more about CISRO itself if you want to learn more. Moving on, LLQP exam structure. Okay, so there's four modules. There's the life insurance. That's gonna be the main one. It's pretty big. Mainly, it's you're gonna learn the terms on what they are. So it's nice to learn that. There's gonna be case studies. Those are important to learn, for it will give you the ideas on the different types of clients that you will deal with once you get your license. And then there's the accident and sickness insurance. That's basically like the living benefits. So other than just death benefits for life insurance. I did not know this when I first started, but apparently there's living benefits. So that's nice. There's a segregated funds and annuities. So that basically talks about putting in an investment, and then for a couple years, let's say 10 years, it'll give you a guarantee, either a death benefit and investment return, and you get to pick whether it's either 75 to 100% return. It may depend on the different insurance companies. So there's that. Last one is the ethics and professional practice. So what that basically talks about is if you're properly doing your business and you're not taking advantage of people, not doing any loopholes, you get to read about it. You'll also learn about scenarios and whatnot in the textbook. Time limit. So for the exams, time limit 75 minutes. And then there's a passing requirement of 60% or higher on each module. Can I move this? Whoa. Yes, I can. I can move it. I'm still learning, guys. I'm a newly licensed agent and I'm learning to do YouTube. Yay me. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So what's nice about the exams, it's all multiple choice. Half it's like super simple, easy peasy, and then the other there's going to be like word problems where you just pick the best through your deduction reasoning. It's pretty nice. Honestly, that's what I mainly relied on when I did my exam. There's a lot of practice quizzes. You just keep taking that until you score, and make sure you just learn it. But we'll talk about that later on. Mention provincial variations. Okay. Some provinces may have additional requirements. So yeah, that's like what I said earlier. Quebec, they have their own different type of rules, but just to make sure wherever province you're in, you check. You just check it, okay? I'm in Ontario, so I am chilling. Okay, life insurance. So, life insurance, you're mainly just gonna be learning about three types. There's three types, two types, we could say permanent and then term, short term, and then permanent. And then permanent goes into half. There's universal and permanent. So, yeah, permanent, it's for the people who want to invest or want to have life insurance for their whole life. They can put it into investments, but they don't get to choose, and it's a fixed income. Meanwhile, universal, so the difference with that is you have way more flexibility, especially on how much you want to pay or where you want to invest the money that you want to put in. Term, it's the cheapest, but of course, you don't have it for your whole life. I mean, you could do like a term 100, obviously, but that's going to be very expensive. But term is mainly used for short term, and it's cheap and it has no returns. Policy features and riders. Okay, so for the life insurance, there's going to be a cash value accumulation. It's for permanent. There's dividends for a participating policy. And then there's convertibility options and living benefits. Wow, life insurance. Next, you're going to be learning about the underwriting process. So there's going to be medical and non-medical underwriting. That basically means that there's going to be an underwriter who'll be checking your records about your past, see if what you're saying is legit or not. And then depending on whichever you pick, the premiums may differ. It says here there's risk factors and their impact on premiums. So yeah, if you're like a smoker, you're gonna have a higher premium, unfortunately. Sorry, not sorry. Also, they may have different rules for different product companies, which is nice. It's nice to have a lot of different companies with benefits. There's policy exclusions and limitations. You'll get to learn that. Okay. Accident and sickness insurance. So these are the living benefits. As you can see here, there's the types of health insurance. You have your individual health plans and then your group benefit plans. Individual is the one you can buy yourself, and then group benefit, that's mainly when you're in the workplace. If you have your own business, you can get one for your employees. And then next is the travel insurance, which is yeah, you can sell travel insurance. It also talks about the rules and case studies, so it's important to know the case studies. Okay, disability insurance, they'll have different types, two types, short-term and long-term. It'll have graphs, it'll talk about it. Okay, own occupation versus any occupations definitions. So yeah, it may vary on if it's your own occupation or if you're doing a different type of occupation. Next, there's the elimination periods and benefit periods that it's going to talk about. That's important to learn. There's critical illness insurance. So what that is, it's mainly for covering like the hardcore diseases. So I think there's like around 26 conditions, 25 plus for sure. 25 for sure, but different companies may cover even more or even less depending. So what's nice about critical illness insurance is you get a lump sum benefit. So if something were to happen to you, whatever product you got, let's say you put in 75K, if something were to happen to you, you get it all together. That's 75,000. And you don't get, unlike the disability insurance, it's not like monthly where they have to like check a lot of stuff. So there's that. What's also nice is with critical illness, there are return of premium options. So when you're looking to buy one, it's good to check if you could get that, because by the time when you're done paying off your critical illness, it goes up to the age of 75. So whatever you paid till the age of 75, they can bring you back all that money that you used. So that's a plus. Seg funds and annuities. So there's different types of seg funds. You're going to be learning about equity funds, fixed income funds, and balance funds. It's pretty nice. You get to learn your risk tolerance, whatnot. Annuity products. This for the US. You don't really have to. It's basically like seg funds. It's just American version. They call it annuities. So yeah, there's fixed, variable, deferred, or immediate. Okay. Seg funds and annuities. So yeah, you're gonna be learning about investment risks and the guarantees. You'll learn about the maturity and death benefit guarantees. So there's different types on whatever you want, but obviously if you want like a 100% on a death benefit and then on a maturity 100%, let's say you do like 10 years maturity, it's going to be a higher premium. Or you can do options where it's up to like 75%. You can do a mix and match, which is nice. And then there's reset features. I'll make a video actually on each module. How about that? Because I cannot talk all about it in one video. And then you'll learn about market risk and insurance company guarantees. So that's nice. Ooh, mutual funds. Ethics and professional practice. That's going to be the fourth module that you're going to be learning. So yeah, you're going to go through the code of conduct, and it'll talk about your duty to your clients, confidentiality, privacy, conflicts of interests. It's good to know these rules, because a lot of bad things can happen if you don't. Compliance and regulations. So that's very important. There's anti-money laundering requirements, knowing your client, disclosure requirements. It's kind of actually interesting to learn. I don't know, I enjoyed it. It's also one of the easier ones, I'd say. Client needs analysis. You're just going to be checking what your client needs, know all the information that you need so you can provide them with the best product that will benefit them the most. That's what that is about. Next, we have study tips and strategies. Creating a study schedule. This one, I'm bad with this. I had to do this kind of with someone, because if I do it by myself, I'm more of the spontaneous type. I just go with the flow. But it's nice to have a schedule. So what I used was Google Calendar. If you have a Google account, I'm assuming everyone has one at this point, especially if you're watching YouTube. You could just use your Google Calendar. Make one, set a time for when you're free. Me, I was working a full-time job at the time, so I did it after work. Or there's also times where you could do it during work, which is nice. I listened to the audiobook textbook, so that's something you can do. And then, smart goals. Anyways, set realistic daily and weekly goals. Allocate more time to challenging topics. So what I did with mine was I did the hardest one first, or the longest, which was the life insurance, because there's like a bit of it on like every other module. So that one was pretty hard. And then the next one, you pick like the shortest one or the easiest. So if you look at the textbook, whatever's shorter, you just go with that, so that like you don't get overwhelmed. Your brain can calm down. And then once it calms down, you go into a harder one. And then you go to the easier one. Makes it less stressful for you. Okay? More tips and strategies. So there's going to be practice exams for when you are writing or reading your textbooks. There's going to be practice quizzes, flashcards. I'd say to take advantage of the flashcards and the test quizzes. And I make sure before I go to the next module, I get like set a standard, like an 80% on each quiz that you do. And then that's when you can move on to the next one. And the flashcards, what I like to do, I screenshot all of it because I use it as study material, especially when I go for breaks. When I worked, I just review it. So try to memorize it and understand why the answers are that answer. You can get a general idea. Of course, if you don't understand anything, it'll like reference you back to the where to find it in the textbook, which is nice. It's honestly the best way I studied was to tackle the tests or the quizzes first, and then see what I got wrong, and then you just study on what you got wrong. But make sure you don't guess on what you got right, Don't do that. Effective note-taking techniques. Summary sheets for each module. So when you read chapters, it's nice to like write it in your own words. If you can write it in your own words, get the general idea, understand the concept, it's going to be a lot easier for you to understand. You can also use mnemonics and acronyms for complex concepts. So yeah, it's good for memorization. Developing mind maps to visual relationships between topics. That's also nice. You can search up on Google on like free mind maps you could create, and then it'll give you a better sense, an idea on how each things connect. Just Google it. I'll put some in the description for that, if anything. Exam day prep. What to bring. So I did mine online. I did not use a calculator. I only had water. I did not take breaks. And valid government issued ID, of course. with that one, since I did it online, you'd need a webcam. You just show your ID, turn it around, and then when you're about to write your exam, they're gonna tell you to do like a scan of your room. So make sure you're like doing your exam in a clean area, not a lot of distractions, no electronics just laying around, because that could distract you, and there's someone watching over you when you're doing your test. So yeah, time management during the exam. All right. So if you've studied really well, took your time, honestly, you could finish this really quick. It's all multiple choice. Just got to remember 60% and above, you pass. So if you did your practice quizzes, your exams, there's also boot camp videos. So what's nice about the online is there's text, video, audio, and both. So what more could you want? So before you do your exams, you got to make sure you're confident, you know, going into it. And of course, yes, it's important to read your questions, make sure you understand it right. Once you're done all of it, you just do a quick review. You got to be confident going in. Test anxiety. It's just a test. No need to stress. But it says here to arrive early. Yeah, don't be late for your exam. Make sure you're like prepped 30 minutes before. You know, um, positive self-talk and visualization. That's good. That's good to have. This one, how to interpret your score report, identifying areas for improvement if needed. So if you did not do well on your exam, it's good to look back on what you got wrong and then do a review and do more studying and more case studies on it. That's what I would say. And after you pass, you can apply for your license at, if you're in Ontario, it depends on like which province you are. In Ontario, it's the FISRA. Or if you're already with a company, they can like direct you to the link that you need to go to. And then you can apply for your license and then be licensed in that province, territory, state you're in. And then there's also the things you need to do after you get your license. There's these things called continuing education requirements. So mainly what this is you'll have to attend meetings where you will learn more about just the industry in general, the products, all the products that you need to know, and make sure that you're updated on what is happening. And then next is finding employment or starting your own practice. So what you could do is start your own agency, or you're already with a company, and I recommend that if you're with a company, I'm assuming you would have a mentor with you and or more experienced people, and I suggest you just ask them a lot of questions, because if you talk to them, get to know them better, they'll be helping you out. So honestly, if you're doing this by yourself, it's gonna be harder, but if you have um, more experienced people with you, it's a lot easier. Okay, retaking. So yeah, waiting periods for retaking exams. I believe it's like 24 hours. I can send a link again on retaking exams. But we got to make sure we study to the point where we are confident that we will not have to retake an exam. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, focusing on the things you struggled with. And I took my time. The problem when I took my time is when you are not consistent, you tend to forget about what you learned. So it's good to make sure you stay consistent in learning, because once you stop, I went for like a quick vacation. I went to a jungle for a week, no internet or whatever. I didn't download the textbooks or whatever. And I started to forget about what I learned. So I kind of had to quickly relearn myself again and teach myself. So yeah, make sure you stay consistent. That is key. And then considering additional prep courses or tutoring. If you can afford it, sure, get tutoring, but I would say the internet is your friend. You have YouTube. There's a lot of insurance YouTubers on here, and they're pretty nice. That's how I learn most of my stuff. And then there's also the internet, Google. Also, AI is very common now. Chat GBT knows a lot. Most things here, I use Chat GBT or just AI. And if that's not helping, you can also talk to your mentors, whoever got you into this. They know a lot, so ask them questions. I don't think there's any stupid questions. Or I mean, even if there are, if you ask that question, you can just learn from it. I guess it's stupid if you don't learn from the question you're asking. So that's what I'll have to say for that. Resources and tools, recommended study materials. So yeah, with the online courses, like I said, audiobook, flashcards, when you get into the program, it's going to show you all of that stuff. It's a pretty simple format. It's not that hard to get lost. And the internet, everything. You can learn everything on the internet. That's all I'll say. Practice tests, that's what I would say helped me the most. Practice tests, just keep taking it till you pass. Or like keep passing till you're like so confident with the answer. Industry associations for support. So yeah, insurance institutes, like I said, you can search up the companies, learn more about what insurance is, but you know, I think the online programs already provide everything that you need. And then there's also your mentors. So just to conclude everything here, thorough preparation. Make sure you create a plan, write it down, put it in your calendar, and then you stick to it. Just be consistent. And then there's going to be just the 4 modules you're going to be learning. Just focus on one module at a time. And then balancing knowledge with exam taking strategies. So you're going to take mock exams. Just keep taking the mock exams. Like I said, understand it, pass it, and then encouragement for aspiring insurance professionals. There's the long-term career benefits of obtaining the license. And then there's opportunities for specialization and growth in the industry. So yeah, the longer you stay in this business, you learn a lot of micro skills, not just selling. You learn people skills. That's something I need to work on right now. I need to learn people skills. You learn about products, which you have I had no idea about until I took this course, this program. And then you can also help people out, especially like the people who don't know anything about life insurance. Some people they probably don't even know there's like 2 types or living benefits, all that type of stuff. Or maybe it's because I'm just young. Maybe that's a factor. And then tips for success, staying motivated and focused. Like I said, planning, consistency. Oh, seeking support from peers and mentors. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask your mentors. Just they'll help you out. Like even like making your plans and stuff. Talk to them about it, and then they can help you out. And they can talk about their experience. Uh, Remember the ultimate goal of serving clients effectively. So yeah, just also keep that in mind. Like what you're learning here, you're gonna apply it in the real world, and you're gonna be dealing with like people's finance stuff, and you want to like give them the best service you can give them, right? So that's why when you learn it, make sure you learn it properly. But of course, you're gonna forget things, so that's why it's always good to stay consistent. And that's all I have. So if you have any questions, put it down on the comments below. Tell me what I can also improve on, and then what videos I can make specifically on like the LLQP. I don't know if I went on too long here, but I could focus more on these, whatever kind of videos you guys want. Maybe I should have just talked about this the whole time. But you know, LLQP, at the end of the day, it's just like another class in high school. You gotta stick to it, plan about how you're gonna approach it, and then be consistent. Be consistent. That's the one takeaway. Consistency. Consistency. That's all it is. Yeah. That's all. Thanks everybody. Yeah, let me know. I'm gonna end it now, and that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and if you have anything else to say, feel free to just comment it below. And yeah, subscribe. I'm logging out. Deuces.